Coming to the green flag here, Shade Eaves on pole position alongside Diego Yepez. The penultimate race of the 2022 season is about to be underway here at Chicagoland Speedway. Several teams have got a job to do tonight, and it's going to be big. Shade Eaves on the inside gets a good jump, clears the 77 of Yepez before turn number 1. Yepez immediately dives down into second place off at turn 2. But here comes Tyler Black in the 84, coming up from third, looking for second place here. Three wide in the middle of the field there. Nick Breeding, the points leader, in a three-way situation with Kev Shear and Gallon Downey for a brief moment there, as Shade Eaves leads the first lap of the night. Sebastian Kukla on the 92, making a pass on the 94 for 7th place here. This 92 team's been surprisingly fast all the weekend long, qualifying in the top 10. Well, I believe it's their best qualifying effort of the year so far. As battling with Diego Yepez here, who is currently trying to gain points on the 54 of Nick Breeding, who is on the outside trying to deal with several cars behind him. Crasta, Downey hounding the heck out of him. But Kuklon in the 92 for Single Z Racing. Trying to get a nice top 10 finish here tonight if this 92 team can't keep up the pace. For the lead here, Tyler Black in the 84 for Spar Motorsports. Making a move on the 3 of Shade Eaves. Black goes way down to the inside to make the pass. And he's going to stick it through turns 1 and 2 as Eaves runs way up the track, up against the wall. And now Luke Martin looking to capitalize to take second place from the 3. And now getting freight trained. Eaves now dropping next to Bobo Jones in the 9 and the 14 of Corey Williams. There are a lot of cars in this top 5, the 14, the 9, and the 22 specifically, who are trying to enter next week with a shot at the championship. But they all are going to have a really big day if they're going to have a mathematical chance at all. You got to leave tonight with at least roughly 49 points behind Breeding at the very worst. And it's roughly a very outside shot here. I mean, Corey Williams in the 14, you know, they've had some great pace this season, but they've really thrown away some really good finishes this season. And they're trying to make up for it here. Shear, Breeding, Downey, 3 wide. Shear, he gets really loose entering turn number 3. Recovers the car. Gets it back going, but it's going to lose a couple of spots here. That was a good bit of car control by Shear, and I don't think Breeding really gave him much room, to be quite honest. But Shear, man, he is struggling to get this car going here. It's RJ Bishop slides into the 8 of Crasta, almost spun him out off the exit of turn 2. It's getting real tight here. Everyone trying to get as many positions as they can here in these opening laps. Highest mover in the field is Noah Haar in the 18. He started outside the top 25, and he is slowly working his way into the top 20 here as he gets past Doug Lockrow and the 35. And I think this 18 team, despite the struggles in qualifying, I think they've got a really good race pace car here in the 18. Actually, I believe they qualify outside the top 30, so... Whoa, something happened up there. Bradley Bishop Jr. all the way down below the apron. He's with Kev Shear. And he slides back up the track. We'll have to see what the heck happened there off of turn 2. But it's getting real tight and a little frisky right now here in these opening laps. So here's what happens with Kev Shear and Bradley Bishop Jr. And Shear, ooh, he comes up the track, hits the 45, hits him again, almost spins him out into the inside wall. And, oof. I tell you what, these two have had some very interesting on-track incidents this year. And this is just the latest chapter tonight, and I can't imagine the officials who have already sat these two down over previous incidents, most notably the pit road incident Gateway a couple weeks ago. But fortunately that one wasn't, I suppose, as dangerous, although he was lucky the 45 did not go around. And I'll tell you what, Bradley Bishop Jr., he's kind of made a bit of a late charge in the championship here, and if you look at the statistics, if you take away the penalty that Bradley Bishop Jr. got at Road 1, which involved Kev Shear, by the way, he would actually be roughly tied with Nick Breeding for the points lead right now, or would be in the ballpark of it at least. That penalty has really changed this 45 team's outlook here in a way that I'm not sure anyone really expected. You know, Bishop has, you know, he's used to having all these multi-win seasons, but this year it's been all about consistency. And you have to imagine Road 1 was not going to be something they're going to fondly remember if this 45 team does not win this championship. Hannah Allen, the 94, qualified 4th, but has already dropped outside the top 20. And this is a very familiar sight here for the 94 team. Good qualifying effort, but just no race pace whatsoever. And this just seems to be another chapter in what's been a very difficult season for this 94 team. Granted, the last couple of weeks they've actually gotten some pretty solid finishes. Granted, they didn't really qualify as well to get those good finishes, so this 94 team has got to rethink their game plan, at least for next season. Back at the front here, we have a 5-car breakaway here at the lead, as Black, Luke Martin, Bobo Jones, Corey Williams, and Shade Eaves have basically formed a draft train and have pulled away from the rest of the field. Here's Patrick Smith in 6th place here with a really strong run so far tonight. He's leading this second pack of 5 cars who are not running single file like the other ones are. And you have to imagine that's kind of maybe why they pulled away. I'm not sure anyone was really expecting a draft train esque race at a intermediate like this. But here we are. I'll tell you what though, Patrick Smith, this 04, he's got some pretty good pace in his car tonight. And he's been having a really strong past couple weeks. This 04 team has been looking really good to close out the season. And it's a shame too, S3 Motorsports leaving this series full time at the end of the year to focus on their Sony Cup efforts for next year. And they've made some really amazing progress this year for this team. It's been up and down, but it's getting a win at Atlanta very early in the season. They've had top 10 runs in basically almost every car that they fielded. It took a lot of years for them to get this far in progress. And hopefully we'll see this same sort of speed in their part-time schedule for next year. We mentioned at the start of the race that several teams who are trying to get in the championship hunt for next week's finale at Charlotte, they're trying to get below minus 50 points behind whoever will be the points at the end of tonight. Kyle Collins, he is one of them, and oh boy, has it been a very interesting, very weird past few months for this 41 team. Absolutely dominated Eagle Point and absolutely dominated Decatur, but everywhere else, this 41 team has just been struggling for pace. And it is the same problem tonight. Collins currently running in 22nd. And that car does not seem to look very healthy in the corners. They've been very inconsistent this year on certain tracks, and you have to imagine this 41 team, they got to really hope that whatever changes they make on pit road is going to be very helpful here, because this is not a good look so far. Battle for 4th here between Eaves and Corey Williams. Shade Eaves, who is trying to make up some points on Nick Breeding here tonight, currently running 18 points behind Breeding coming into tonight. And this 3 team still looking for that first win this year. They got that pole position, but unfortunately they have not held the lead, as Tyler Black did not take very long to get it. But look at this battle here between him and Williams here, side by side. When it comes to battling, the middle and outside is actually pretty good, even though the fastest lane is the bottom. But you can see Corey, he's hanging pretty tough there with the 3. But Eaves, I think, is going to finally clear him here to get back up to 4th place. Corey Williams, he does not necessarily have to beat Shade Eaves, but Williams is going to have to gain some big points on Nick Breeding here. While Corey currently is mathematically in the championship hunt, you got to imagine he's going to want to make this a bit easier, as the 14 team currently sits roughly 56 points behind. So if they want to have a shot, they're going to have to really gain some points here. Noah Hart from outside the top 30 has now gotten himself into 12th place here as he gets past Brandon Crasta. So what a heck of a drive from the 18 team here. This car has got some really strong pace. He's running roughly identical lap times to the leaders right now. So if the 18 can get some track position, Hart may have a chance at a win here tonight. And this team really could use one here. Speaking of a team that could use a win, Diego Yepez here, currently sitting 4th in the points, 26 points behind entering tonight. That 77 does not look very good right now. He is struggling for top-end pace right now. It was not long ago this 77 team had the points lead. But they have really been struggling with their setups over the last couple of weeks, and it has cost them dearly. Memphis was really a race to forget for the 77 team, even if you don't even factor in the incident with Bobo Jones on pit road. But we'll see if Yepez can make some adjustments here on the pit cycle here, as we are just a few laps away from the first of 2 stops needed tonight. Here comes Tyler Black here. They are signaling that he is coming to pit road here. So he's going to begin the pit cycle here as Luke Martin elects to stay out an extra lap in the 22 to take the lead. Here comes Luke Martin, the 22. Going to get a lap lead there. No bonus, but just another little number for the stat sheet, I suppose. But we'll see where Martin comes out with Tyler Black here. Roughly two sets of cars pitted, so we shall see where this 22 ends up. Oh, we got an issue on pit road here. James Ellison with left side damage. Entering a stall, he made contact with somebody. And Ellison with heavy damage, they're going to have to push that car back into his stall. And Ellison, who was running just outside the top 25, has ran into some issues here. And this is going to cost him a lot of time here, because now they're going to have to fix the damage on the car as the rest of the field finishes their cycle here. We're being told Daniel Voiles was the car involved. Voiles pitted the lap prior from the 93. So what happens here? Voiles, they finished the stop there. They take a minute to release the car. Comes out in front of the 93, blocks the entrance to Ellison's pit box, and Ellison slams into him. Oof. The 15 team, it took them a while to get that car relaunched. I mean, they were sitting in the stall. I'm not sure if, I think Voiles may have stalled it for a moment, but that is big for the owner's points there. James Ellison, who just came off a top 10 finish that sent him straight back towards the top 30 bubble. And now they're going to have to fix damage in pit road, and they're still working on it. They haven't even lifted the car up for tires yet. Tyler Black is going to easily cycle back out into the lead here as he pulls way ahead of Luke Martin in the 22, and Black is going to have a gap to play with here. Bobo Jones takes second place here from Luke Martin. Bobo Jones, who has the most outside chance to get into the championship battle here, sitting 88 points behind, needs to gain basically 40, roughly about 40 points to be able to get a shot at the championship next week. So he's going to need some help, to put it mildly, but they're going to drive as hard as they can to try and get those points. But it is Tyler Black now with a gap after the pit cycle here, a 2-second lead. But what could be a problem for Black here is that he currently does not have the draft here. Bobo Jones and Martin are behind, and they're going to have some draft for them to play with here. And we saw what happened with the field. The top 5 in a draft train pulled away. So right now Black is going to be having to haul it to try and get to some lap cars so he can get some nice suck off the back bumper here. So the 9, I think the 9's coming to pit road. Something's gone wrong with the 9 of Bobo Jones. Bobo Jones from second place, he's back to pit road. Not sure for what reason. Something may have broken or what, but the 9 just suddenly came to pit road. We're being told the right front was apparently starting to fall off. Bobo was starting to feel something was wrong, so they've come to bring it down pit road. And you can see they're putting the right side tires on. They might as well just put 4 tires on at this rate. But Bobo Jones, who had such a difficult mountain to climb, and that mountain basically just turned into Mount Everest here, and he's going to lose a lap. And he is going to need some big help to get back in this now. How about this? Noah Hart. Unbelievable. Less than halfway through this race, this A team has passed over 25 cars to get into 3rd place. This 18 car is flying. But he's getting a face full of Shade Eaves right now, who I think is trying to snap him back to reality here. But what an excellent effort from the 18 team. They have got this car hooked up and ready to go here. Hart currently sits 4.7 seconds behind Black, so that's going to be quite the gap to make up here. And what's not going to help is that Eaves, excuse me, is all over him as Hart goes way up the track there, almost hit the wall. About to get passed by Patrick Smith, who, by the way, is in the top 5 still. Patrick Smith has got some really good pace in the 04 car. They've got something really hooked up pretty well here. And behind him is the points leader, Nick Breeding. He comes up next to Patrick Smith. There's James Ellison. He is now back out on track, but he is going to be several laps down. 5 down, maybe 6 down here, as I think the 84 passed him this lap. That damage to the 9.3 was quite severe, I think. They had to spend an extra amount of time to fix it. And if Bobo Jones's mountain was going to be difficult to climb, this is Mount Everest if you stack 2 of them on top of each other. Bradley Bishop Jr., man, he is having a tough one tonight, which is a surprise. This 45 has been one of the best teams on intermediates this year. And Bishop is currently battling with, well, this is interesting, Justin Henley in the 32. For those of you who have been keeping up, Justin Henley is actually going to be driving this exact 45 next year for AFRT. And I gotta say, this is one heck of an opportunity for Justin Henley here. Getting to drive one of the most successful cars in the Hardee's National Series his entire existence. Henley, who is making a handful of starts for SC Motorsports this year. This is, I believe, his second to last one. Yeah, there's 2 races left season, of course, but Henley's done a pretty decent job in his very limited efforts so far, and battling with Bradley Bishop Jr. is not bad to put on your resume. Here's Dane Stinson, the 16. Kind of made some noise at Memphis 2 weeks ago when he qualified in the top 10, ran in the top 10 for basically roughly about half the race or so, before eventually the 16 team had an unfortunate issue with a tire that caused them to actually get towed to pit road under caution, which, luckily enough, only cost them 1 lap. Stinson fought, he got his lap back, and then managed to get a 12th place finish despite all of it, as the 16 team had enough gas to make it. So Stinson really, I think, turned some heads around last week with that comeback 2 weeks ago with that comeback drive. I can't speak today. But Stinson currently running in 13th right now, and is trying to run down the 12 of Gatlin Downey. Tyler Black here lapping the tail end of the field here. He's gone past Aiden Shepard in the 86. And is now working over Lars Van Schaik in the 33. So Black is going to have to try and cut through these guys as quickly as possible here. Luke Martin is definitely going to be coming up behind him here. I think the draft from the lap cars here is Black makes some slight contact with Van Schaik. That was a bit unnecessary, but Black is trying to escape from Luke Martin here, and if he can put as many lap cars between him and Martin, then it's just going to make Martin's life a little bit more difficult here. Tyler Black has gone past this main group of cars here, and this is one heck of a battle here, by the way. These guys are going at it really hard here, and it's basically all for 35th. And most of these guys, well, actually all of them, they don't really have much of a chance to get inside the top 30 Norris points, so they're just racing each other basically for the heck of it here, and much to the chagrin of Luke Martin, who is trying to get through this field here, but again, they're battling for position. They have no obligations to get out of the way if they don't feel like it, but I think Martin's going to make them get out of the way regardless here, as Voiles almost gets spun. As Martin, I think the message was clear. Okay. And there's smoke up there in turn 2. Something must have happened. Sebastian Kukulon is coming to pit road, and he's got some issues here in the 92 car. I think we got some right side damage. I think he may have been involved in whatever happened against the wall. You can see the hard right side damage here. That is going to put Kukulon multiple laps down here. So something happens to Sebastian Kukulon here. Kukulon running in 20th, Kevshire behind in the 0 car. And whoa, 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 Shear, oh my goodness, he just pile drove the 92 into turn 3. That's where the smoke came from for sure. And that's why Kukulon came down to pit road, as him and Kevshire with heavy damage between those two cars. No caution, however. We stay green, as, well, no one went around, but tough break for Sebastian Kukulon. Here's the replay here. Kevshire, he got a massive run off of turn 2. And, woo, I don't think Kukulon saw him coming. And Shear and him made contact. So Shear, he pile drove him into the wall, but I don't think that was really much of Shear's fault. As I don't think Kukulon was... I don't think a spotter relayed the information fast enough that that 0 car was basically going 5 miles per hour faster than he was. You may have noticed the 64 of Toby Christie was on pit road. We're being told something happened to him. Here's what happened. Christie, who was running outside the top 25 here in 30th place. Not a strong run here. But you can see the 64 just slows down here. You can hear there's no engine noise. So I believe the 64 may have had something with the engine here. A big engine problem. So Christie to pit road. And remember, at Memphis, Tyler Black had a really fast car before he had an engine problem. So I wonder if this may be a similar issue to that 84 team. Sebastian Kukulon made the choice to come to pit road to fix the damage, but Kev Shear is doing a different strategy. He seems to be staying out here hoping for a caution. And Shear, who got into the back of the 45 earlier and now gone to the 92, it's been quite the eventful race for the Zero team tonight. Speaking of eventful, 3 wide as Jones and Shepard, who are both a lap down, are flying right by Hannah Allen. Ain Shepard came to pit road actually a couple of laps ago, which was actually a scheduled stop, surprisingly. So Shepard going for a massive undercut. Meanwhile, Bobo Jones, he has slightly fresher tires because he pitted a few laps after the cycle ended. Back at the lead, Tyler Black in the 84 is still your leader, but Luke Martin is slightly faster than him and is slowly running him down. Seems to me Luke Martin may have a better long-run car than this 84. And if you're Tyler Black, you have to be thinking about what happened at Nazareth back a couple of weeks ago, where Black looked like he had this race on lock, led almost every lap that race, but a strategy call by the 22 team got them out in front at the very last moment. And you have to be thinking this 84 team, they do not want a repeat of that again. So I think they're going to make sure that they come out in front of this 22. But Martin is faster right now. Fortunately, if you look at the long run pace here, they're not going to run a full run to the end with less than 30 to go. So I think Black may be okay here. It's going to have to be a big adjustment from the 22 team to be able to catch this 84, I think, on the long run, if Black does retain the lead. Here's your points leader, Nick Breeding, running in 5th place here in the 54 car as, ooh, that looks fun. The Eaves hard, trying to navigate past the 06 of TJ Smith and the 31 of Bjorn Jacob. Tell you what, these lap cars are making this very interesting here as Breeding, he goes way below the 18, trying to make a pass here. And he is going to floor it, trying to get underneath the 18 hard. This is a mess. As ooh, contact with Daniel and Smith. That battle has been raging on all day long, well, all night long. Elson, the 93, he's got fresher tires. Remember, he came to pit road to fix, well, he had to fix the damage on pit road. It cost him several laps, so even though he's several laps down, he has fresher tires than basically anyone in this field not named Aiden Shepard. So Elson should have the pace here, but I think they're kind of struggling in the aero department here. But it's making things very difficult for these guys running inside the top 5. Corey Williams is struggling trying to navigate these lap cars here. He's going to lose some spots here as Yepez into the 06 there slightly for some contact. I think Yepez is in a hurry. He is desperate to get some spots here. He sends it 3 wide beneath Angel and Williams. And he's going to come to pit road the minute he made that move. So I don't think that 3 wide was actually intentional. I think he was just trying to get to the pit lane entrance there. Tyler Black in that first group to come to pit road here with just over 20 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Luke Martin decided to go out an extra lap just like the previous cycle. And it seemed to have somewhat worked, but that time lost on that pit cycle really hurt the 22 team here. So we'll see if Martin can get a better stop here. But this 84 team, a nice, clean, simple stop. Here's Luke Martin for his final stop of the night here in the 22 car. So Martin here, where is he going to merge with the 84 of Tyler Black? Bradley Bishop Jr. is currently the leader, but he is not pitted yet. There goes Tyler Black around the outside, and he's going to get a gap just like he did the previous time around, so not much of a change. However, Black regains all the time. Then Martin caught up to him there. So Black, very nice job. They got that 84 out there in front of that 22 very safely. You have to imagine Nazareth really was playing on their minds. They did not even give Martin the chance to pull something off there. There's Bradley Bishop Jr. trying to find a way to get up to Nick Breeding here. This 45 team has been struggling tonight, but they have gone the longest of anyone there on that set of tires, which means they're going to have the freshest tires in the field. But will Bradley Bishop Jr. be able to make use of them here? He's in 16th, so he's roughly about where he was before, but he's going to have to make a big drive here if he wants to catch Breeding, who is currently running inside the top 10. Here's Breeding with less than 20 laps to go here in 7th place right now. He actually lost a couple of spots during that cycle. He was running in 5th, but he lost some spots here. Diego Yepez got out in front of him in the 77 car, so Yepez, they've got some pace going all of a sudden in the 77 car and some track position as well, so whatever struggles they had at the start, they seem to have rectified it. And Yepez, he knows he needs to beat Breeding tonight, and he's going to make sure that he keeps that 54 behind him. But I think Yepez knows that if he wants to really have a good chance, he's going to need to catch hard. He's going to need to catch Eaves, Patrick Smith if he possibly can. Shade Eaves in the 3. It's been a pretty solid night tonight for this 3 team. They have basically been in the top 5 for roughly about, I'd say, 99% of this race here. Fortress 3, I don't really think has the pace to contend for the win tonight, but 3rd place here, I think they're going to take it. But they just know they need to gain some points on Breeding here. And the difference from 3rd to 7th is actually kind of decent for what it is. If I'm calculating this right, as it stands currently, if Eaves finishes where he's at, granted he's having a little bit of an issue with Shepard and now Patrick Smith, who's having one heck of a night tonight. But if Eaves comes across the line 3rd tonight as it stands, if Breeding stays in 7th, I believe he would be around 11 points behind Breeding heading into next week's championship race at Charlotte. Tyler Black is pulling away from Luke Martin here, and this is the difference here. Black has caught up to a new group of lap-down cars, and he's got a big advantage here because now Luke Martin does not have any cars to draft with here. He is 2.7 seconds behind Tyler Black. And look at who's in front of Black. That's his teammate Hannah Allen, the 94, giving him a nice draft down the straightaways here. So a bit of perhaps impromptu teamwork from the Spartan cars here, and it's going to help Black get a pretty decent gap here as we are coming up on 10 to go, 11 to go at the line. Black is getting himself basically some armor. He's not even going to let Martin, I don't think, even get a chance to catch him here. I think that 22 is faster than 84, but it could be the difference in draft that could determine the outcome of this race. And Tyler Black, I mean, this team has had some really strong runs this year. They've had some terrible luck. They have been on the cusp for that first career victory and first win of the season here. They just need some space. That's basically it. They just need some space to hold on to. Luke Martin is 22. You have to imagine he has got to be really frustrated right now in this car because he knows that he has a faster car than Black, but he needs a car to draft with if he wants any chance to contend. 2.72 to 2.77. seconds there, so that is just how much of a difference it is right now. With around 8 laps to go, Martin needs to catch that 90. He needs to catch that 94 very, very quickly if he wants any slim chance. But right now, Tyler Black is on cruise control. He's running the fastest laps on track as it stands. Bradley Bishop Jr. trying to get what use he can out of these fresh tires, but he is going to have a difficult time here. He has not really made many gains here on this strategy, and he's about to lose some very big points to Nick Breeding and Shade Eaves tonight. And what's also not going to help is that Eaves' 2 teammates, granted Shear is 1 lap down, and Brandon Crasta, they're not going to make this easy for Bishop Jr. They got no reason to, really, but also you have Ryan Butcher as well, who's going to a CM car next year as well. So Bishop Jr., been a tough night tonight. They've been so great on intermediates, but tonight they have just not had what they've needed to be successful. And this was not the race to really have a struggle like this. But you can see Bishop, he is underneath Butcher. He's going to make the pass with 4 to go. Trying to get whatever spots he can get in this 45 car. Oh, we got trouble! Jack Halleck, Buren and Jacob are in the wall. TJ Smith is in the wall in the 06 car with 3 to go. Oh boy, Halleck, Jacob, oh, they're not happy with each other. Halleck is, whoa, he does not see the 33 of Shike. And Reed now in the 24 is going to go past him, but something big happened in turn 3, and it's cost Halleck some spots here. Here's what happened between Halleck and Jacob here. Halleck is trying to get past these lap cars here. And ooh, Jacob comes down beneath the 74. And Halleck, who I don't think is happy with the 51, grinds him against the wall through turns 3 and 4. And tries to keep hitting him here. Jacob comes down to show his displeasure. And we almost had a wreck there with Shike. I don't think the 74 was even looking at his mirror. Let's watch this again here. This was very similar to the Kukulon and Shear incident here, but let's follow the 06 of TJ Smith, who, I gotta say, does a pretty good piece of driving here, even if he is a victim in this. Smith, fortunately a victim there, but keeps the car under control. Thanks, granted he had some help from the wall. Let's follow Jack Halleck this time. This is a good angle of what happens here. And yeah, Jacob, he just comes down, doesn't even see the 74 there. And Jack Halleck, out of frustration, you can see him, he is drilling that 31 into the wall out of frustration. And, ooh, Jacob, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not happy about that either, even though that was kind of his fault. But Halleck, I mean, this has been a very long and very difficult season for that 74 team. And I think Halleck may have just finally blew a fuse there. He really just shoved Jacob into that wall. He didn't even try to let off. And unfortunately, that little incident's going to cost Halleck some spots. 2 laps to go for Tyler Black in the 84 for Spartan Motorsports. Luke Martin is starting to catch him with the draft, but he is not going to have enough time tonight as Tyler Black in the 84 team makes a great strategy call. They got him near lapped cars that let him draft away from the 22 team and coming to the white flag here. Tyler Black 1 lap away from his first career Hardee's National Series victory here. He's just got to bring it home. Martin was 2/10 quicker, but it's not going to be enough. Tyler Black, it's been a very roller coaster of a season. Had a really strong car in Memphis, unfortunately had an engine problem. They came into this weekend looking to make a statement and perhaps make a bid as a favor for next year's championship. Coming to a checkered flag, Tyler Black wins his first Hardee's National Series race here at Chicagoland Speedway in a dominating performance, and this time they held on to it. Tyler Black wins for Spar Motorsports for the team's second win on the year, joins Jesse Turner. Luke Martin comes across second place, and I don't think he has gained enough points to be a title contender, but another great run from the 22 team, another top 5. Shade Eaves makes some gains in the title on Nick Breeding. He finishes 3rd. Patrick Smith, a very amazing 4th place, back-to-back top 5s for the 04 team. Noah Hart from outside the top 3 drives to 5th. Diego Yepez in the 77, comes across 6th, gains 1 point, I believe, on Nick Breeding. Nick Breeding, your points leader, comes across 7th, another strong run. Unfortunately, he's going to lose some points to some people, but could have been worse. Gatlin Downey in the 12 finishes in 8th. His championship run is basically over. Corey Williams, same as well, 9th place, but did not gain the points needed on Breeding. And Sean Angel crosses the line in 10th place for a top 10 finish. So looking at the championship here, as it stands, Nick Breeding will head into next week as the points leader. Eaves gains. Bishop Jr. came into this race 20 points behind. He is going to lose points as he fell outside outside the top 10. He finishes 15th, so he's going to lose some points to Breeding. He's not out of it mathematically, but it's going to be a very difficult drive to make a shot at the championship next week. Yepez makes a small gain, but better than nothing. Corey Williams, his championship is over as he came into tonight 56 behind, and he did not even gain a point on Breeding. Collins, a terrible race for the 41 team, finishing 21st. Their championship is over. Downey had a pretty solid run tonight, but unfortunately not enough points gained and did not finish in front of Breeding. Martin finishes 2nd place, but he will not have enough points. He will be more than 49 points, well, 50 points behind Breeding, so he is out. And Bobo Jones, well, self-explanatory. His championship is over. Here are results and points, and a look at who remains left in the championship.